All right, in this video here, we are going to be looking at arithmetic sequences and also explicit formulas. So quick example here, we have a jar and it has a weight in grams, and when you add one marble, it weighs 287, 2 marbles, 3 marbles, 4 marbles. And so this is an example that we can use for these arithmetic sequences. And in this video, we are going to be working with explicit formulas. We'll also be reviewing the recursive formulas in case you forgot those. So remember, arithmetic sequence is a numerical pattern. It increases or decreases. The amount that it increases or decreases is called the common difference, right? So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 30, 26, 22, 18, 14 are all the terms of a sequence. And here's our common difference here. These ones are going up by 2, so the common difference is 2. And then, so common difference is 2. And then over here, they're going down by 4. So our common difference, D, is going to equal a negative 4. So we're also, in this video, going to be looking at explicit formulas as well. Okay, so quick review, recursive formula. So we have a sub 1, and that's always going to be your first term. So these recursive formulas, we're going to have 2 lines or 2 parts to the answer. A1 tells us our first term, and then to find the next term, we take the last term and then add the common difference. So in these ones here, this was add a 2 or subtract a 4. So in this case here, that's going to be a plus 2 or a minus 4 there. So take the last term, add 2 or subtract 4 to find the next term, starting with this one here. So quick example here, pause the video, see if you can figure this one out. Finding the 15th term of this arithmetic sequence. Negative 10, negative 7, negative 4, dot, 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 keeps going and going and going. So the answer is 32. So, but how did you find that? Okay, right, we're adding 3 each time. So negative 10 to negative 7 is a plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Okay, so here you're going to start with a negative 10 and you're going to add a bunch of 3s. So remember, repeated addition is called multiplication. So in this case here, to find the 15th term, you're going to start with negative 10, so that's your A1. And you're going to add how many 3s? You're going to add 14 3s. So you're going to add 14 3s. Okay, so remember our common difference is 3. So that's the D. And then you already have the first one. So that's the negative 10 here. And then to get to the 15th term, you have to go 14 more terms. So it's that we're finding the 15th term. So the term right before that is 14 3s that you're going to add. So if you're finding the 20th term, you'll add 19 3s. If you're going to find 100 or the 100th term, then you're going to add 99 3s because you already have the first one. You got to add 99 more to come up with the 100th term, okay? So this is the explicit formula. So here it is here. Make sure you get this in your notes. So here we go. So the nth term, the term that you're trying to find, you're going to start with the first term, and you're going to add the common difference. So that's a plus 3 or a minus 4. And then you're going to have that n is the same one that goes here, right? And these are your subscripts, right? That's A1, that's AN, right? And so if you're trying to find the 100th term, you'll add 99 Ds, negative 3s, positive 5s, whatever it might be. So another way of looking at it too is this one here. So basically, if you just look at this D here, it's on the back end instead of before the N, it's after the parentheses there. So some people like the D in the back. So sometimes your teachers will teach it this way. And then sometimes they use kind of more of a function notation where instead of having the subscripts, they put the N's and the 1's in parentheses instead. So a couple of different ways that you'll see this formula here. So in this video, we'll be using this one, although your teachers might use this one, and less common, but you might also see this one here. All right, so here we go. Writing formulas 4. And then we're going to do 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So let's look at that one. So remember, we're adding 2 for each term. So our recursive formula, we'll do recursive first. So that's where we have the 2 parts to our answer. We start with the first one, and that's going to be a 3. It's right there. And then for the next term, we take the last term, and in this case, we're going to add 2, right? This plus 2 here goes right here. Okay, now for the explicit part of this, so remember, here's our formula for the explicit formula, and this is kind of variable-ish, so that's just going to stay there, a sub n. equals, and then A1, that's the first one, so that's going to be a 3 there, so 3 goes there, plus And then remember the d is going to be here. That's your common difference. And then n minus 1 goes after that. So the d in this case was a 2. So there we go. So there's our recursive formula. Again, those have two parts. And then the explicit formula is right here. So again, recursive means you do the same procedure over and over and over and over and over again. So in this one here, we're adding 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Whereas explicit, that just says, oh, you want to find the 15th? Well, use this formula and you'll find the 15th term. All right, moving over here. So here we go. So on this one here, we are subtracting 4 each time from 30 to 26 to 22 to 18 to 14. And then for our recursive formula, here we go. So that's going to be, remember, it has two parts. A sub 1, that's your first one. In this case, that's a 30, so 30 goes there. And then we do this part here. So a sub n, so that's the next term, equals the last term. What are you doing to the last term to find the next term? Well, you're going to subtract 4. And that's that common difference right there. So two parts for recursive formula. Explicit formula. So there's the formula again there. So we're going to have a sub n. So that's the term you're looking for is going to equal the first term plus the common difference times n minus 1. So in this case here, that was a minus 4. Minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. Okay? So in order to find the 20th term, you're going to go 30 minus 4 times 20 minus 1 would be 19. So you're going to subtract 19 fours from 30 to find the 20th term there. All right, and here's the example we started with here. Arithmetic sequence, we're looking at grams in the jar. There's with 1 marble, 2 marbles, 3 marbles, 4 marbles. That's how many grams it weighs. So recursive formula. Remember, it has two parts. So the common difference in this case here, we do want to look here, 287, 290, 293, 296. We're adding 3 for each new marble that goes in there, or each term. So our recursive formula has two parts. A sub 1 equals, well, that's your first one. So that's going to be the 287. Boom, right there. And then to find the next term, we take the last term plus whatever that common difference is. In this case, it'll be a 3. So here we go. So a sub n equals the last term, a sub n minus 1, plus, in this case, that's going to be a 3. So a 3 replaces the d there. Now for the explicit formula, this is just going to be one answer. You know, this one kind of has like two parts to the answer. This one just has one part for the answer there, or the formula as it were. So here we go. So we got a sub n equals a sub 1. That's the first one. Well, that's right here, 287. So that replaces that. Plus, and then your common difference goes here. That's a 3 because you're adding 3 each time. Boom, right there. And then n minus 1 goes there at the end. So you're just replacing. N minus 1 stays. You're just replacing the d with a 3, and then you're replacing the a sub 1 with the first number there. So there's your explicit formula there. Now to find the 11th term, or the weight of the 11th marble, here we go. So there's our formula that right here. So the 11th term, that's what that little 1 right there means, right? A1 means first term. So it's going to equal, here's our formula, 287 plus 3 times, and then in this case here, our n is 11, so our n is 11 right there, minus 1. So that's going to make a 10, right? So in this case here, the 287 stays, right? Plus 3 times, that 3 right there, times, and then the 11 minus 1 makes 10. And now it's just order of operations. I mean, that's all we're doing here anyhow. We're just calculating the value. So now we got 287 plus 3 times 10 is 30. And so 287 plus 30, that's going to make 317. So the 11th marble is going to weigh 317 grams, or the 11th term equals 317. So just a quick reminder, make sure you have a formula section in your notebook. You should have both of these in here. The recursive formula, remember, has two parts, A1 and AN, and then your explicit formula just has one part there. Do make sure those are in your formula section of your notebook.